Hi guys, and welcome to Escape Wheel Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're looking at the CIGA Design Z Series, which is a 2020 German Design Award winner. So that's interesting. Starting this off a little different than I normally do, and that's because the packaging on this is actually pretty darn cool. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to let you guys see it here. You've kind of got this embossed depiction of the watch. Really cool. That's just the outer sleeve. You slide it open here. It's almost like a book. So you've got CIGA Design Skeleton Mechanical Z Series. Same thing here. Got the Design Award, kind of a foil embossed again. I mean, it all looks really cool. You open it up, and there's your first page. So you've already got a peek at the watch movement there. A bunch of awards and all that stuff here. For CIGA Design. Yeah, it's a really cool packaging, and open it up to the second page here, and you've got your specs over on this side here, and then you've got your watch display and two watch straps. So this does come with two watch straps. Nice to see. So yeah, I'm going to throw on this rubber strap real quick, and we'll get back to this review. Okay, so this watch was sent to me directly from CIGA Design. I don't have to send it back, but as always, you know, it's not going to sway my review one way or the other. I'm always honest with you guys and what I see and what I'm feeling. And yeah, just to keep that in mind throughout this review. The retail price for this watch is about $260. However, during the time of this video, it is on sale for $220 from the Amazon links down below. Those aren't affiliate links or anything, so you don't have to worry about that. They also sell this in titanium for about $100 and a little bit over $100 more. So yeah, kind of a cool option as well. So this watch case here is made of 316L stainless steel. It has a sapphire crystal, a push-pull crown, a screw-in case back, 30 meters of water resistance, and it comes with two quick-release watch straps. So it's definitely an interesting package, and one that's going to be grabbing the attention of people around you. I've already gotten a compliment on it. So yeah, I mean, I wore it out one day and someone asked me about it. So that's kind of it's kind of what you're going to expect from this watch. Before we dig in and find out, let's do a quick wrist check. Today I'm wearing my Merkur Sizen W10 military homage. Really like this watch. It left my review right up here. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this watch for quite a while now. I just love the way this thing wears. All right, let's do the dimensions. So dimensions on this are really surprising. This feels like a big watch, but the dimensions tell you differently, and that's just down to the tonneau case. So lug to lug is 47.8. You've got 22 millimeter lug width. You got a thickness of 12.4, and then it does taper down a little bit. So like 11 and a half-ish, 11.2 towards the ends here. And then the diameter, I guess if you can call it that, is just under 41 right there, 44 millimeters with the crown, and then 42.2 with just the crown guards. So again, really actually not bad dimensions, you know, 48 lug to lug, 22 millimeter lugs, 42. I mean, it doesn't sound like a very big watch, but because of its shape, the tonneau case here, it definitely wears pretty big in my opinion. It also wears pretty flat on the wrist, as you can see here. There's barely any curvature to it at all. So but yeah, it's an interesting look, and I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist. So here it is on my 7.5 inch wrist, and you can see it still wears pretty good. I know these tonneau cases wear pretty big, but yeah, it wears pretty good. You can see very flat design here. It is fairly thick, I'd say, but the strap is actually really comfortable, and it definitely looks really cool. Zooming in on the dial there. You can see it all working around in the back. It looks really cool. You got some light play off the hands. Yeah, looks okay. I think there's some anti-reflective coating on the crystal. You can see a little blue tinge there, so that keeps the dial pretty clean and clear. Still pretty hard to read, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm not going to throw this on any other straps, but yeah, that gives you an idea of what it looks like. I think it looks really interesting. If you're into this design, this is a pretty good option, I think. All right, so let's talk about the case finishing on this. So the case on this is obviously very interesting. So It's a tonneau case. You've got some faux screws here in 4 locations. They're polished, and then you've got a vertical brushing on the top of the case here. I think the brushing is actually done really nicely. Nice satin brushing. Very happy with the brushing on it. I don't see any, oddities in the brushing at all, so I think that looks pretty good. The side of the case here, it is a horizontal brush there, and then you've got this kind of relief CIGA design logo etched in there. Again, done really good. It does kind of remind me of, the Invictas with the Invicta branding on the side, but I understand why they did it. The other side here, again, really interesting. You got a horizontal brushing on the outer edge of this. And then you've got these crown guards here, which are brushed as well. And then you've got a couple screws here holding this in. And then I think this kind of gray area around the screws, I don't know if that's metal or plastic, and I don't really know of a good way to do it. You can almost see, getting up closer, that it almost looks like a separate piece, but I can't really tell. I really can't tell. But yeah, really interesting case design. You've got your signed crown here with the CIGA C, and it's a knurled crown, really cool looking. Flipping it over here, you can see you've got a crown tube that kind of separates these 2 pieces here, so that is a separate kind of a hollow aspect to this watch case. Really interesting case. You've got a little notch right there, so you can get a thumbnail or a fingernail underneath the crown and pop it out. So they at least thought of some really cool ideas and good designs here. You do have polished chamfers around all the edges, and they're done really nice. The transition from brush to polish is excellent. I see no issues with it at all. Really nicely done. It's on both sides, as you can see here. Really nice. Does kind of give some sparkle to the case a little bit. Very happy with the case finishing on this. You can see the case back here. It says all stainless steel, water resistant, 30 atmospheres. We're going to test this for sapphire in just a second, but it's a really thick case back. You can see the actual case itself kind of comes up over the case back sides here. So it gives really interesting design to this case. That's all I can really say. It's just a very interesting design. The crown itself, I think it could be a little bit bigger. It does kind of get blocked by these crown guards a little too much. I can still get plenty of grip because of the knurling on it and wind it up, but that's one thing I might increase that just a little bit. But I think overall, the case design on this thing, it's really, really interesting. All right, so let's test this thing for sapphire real quick. Front glass is sapphire. Back glass is not sapphire. So it's nice that we're getting a nice piece of curved sapphire crystal. It's not a flat piece of crystal, as you can see right about there. You can see it curved nicely. I think there's some anti-reflective coating on it as well, because it keeps the dial pretty clean. You can see there's some distortion at the extreme angles there. And I think overall the crystal on this, it's fine. It's nothing spectacular, nothing crazy. Follows the line of the case really nicely, I think. Really happy with the crystal. The case back itself being not sapphire, that's a little bit of a letdown, especially since you can see the case back through the front. So if that back gets scratched up somehow, you're going to see that through the front of the watch. And that's, so I wish they would have done sapphire in the back. I've seen sapphire in watches that are $115, $120, so they should have been able to do that here as well. But I guess I kind of understand why they didn't. Okay, so let's talk about the dial on this thing. So dial is really, really interesting. I don't even know how to describe it. So obviously skeleton, really kind of cool. You can see all the jewels of the movement here poking through. Really nice. You've got a CIGA branding here at the 3 o'clock position. You've got your hours and minute markers all around the outside here. So it's not really, you're not struggling to find the minute markers and the time. It's just a really, really interesting design. Just look at that. It's really cool. You can see the balance wheel and the escape wheel, and you can see the mainspring here. And when you're winding it, you can see it all moving. It's all really, really cool. You can also see the rotor spinning in the back sometimes. So, really interesting to be able to see the movement. I think obviously that's what this watch is all about, is being interesting and really kind of futuristic and cool looking. And I definitely think it gets a pass there. I mean, it's kind of a bead blasted dial to it. Really, really pretty cool. Plays nicely with all the other textures and finishes of the movement itself. Yeah, really happy with this movement, or with this dial. I think they did a pretty good job. The hands on it are one of my big gripes, I think. Obviously, they tried making it stand out with the pops of red here. You've got the red needle second hand, but they still get lost in this dial. I'm not sure what else they could really do to it other than to make them just solid, but you don't want to block the dial with, solid hands. So I understand why they did that. As you can see here, these little white arrows on the tips of the hour and minute hands, those are the only lume on the entire watch, and it's so bad that I'm not even going to show it. So yeah, the lume on this watch is pretty pointless. I'm not really sure why they did it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. All right, so let's talk about the movement in this thing. So the movement is operated by this pull push 3 o'clock crown here, again signed, knurled. I've got no real issues with the functionality of it. There's no go state position, which is nice. The movement itself is a modified CIGA movement that does hack. It does hand wind, as you saw in right here. So that's nice that you can actually see that going on in the back there. It is bidirectional winding of the rotor, so you don't really get that thing spinning around too bad. It's pretty quiet, I think, as well. The movement itself, it's really nothing special. I think they should have done something with that rotor, maybe done a little bit more skeletonizing of the rotor if they could. I'm not really sure they could, but yeah, I think it's okay. They definitely could have made it look a little cooler, but yeah, that's not a huge deal. I'm actually just noticing this now. You can actually see the movement holder. I'm assuming that's what that is, that the red spot there. You can see that through the case pack. I'm just noticing that now. Interesting. Anyway, so yeah, the movement, it's been fine for me. It's been accurate to about 15 to 20 seconds fast today. I'll pop up the time grapher shot right here. You can see, it's right on the border of acceptable for me. I'm not going to get in there and regulate it. And I definitely think it's a worry for someone that's going to buy this to wear daily. But for me, it's not a big deal. So let's talk about the straps on this. So first off, I'll get out the alligator leather. You can smell it. It is real leather. You've got 2 keepers here. You've got a brushed buckle. We'll talk about that on the other one because it's the same exact buckle. But yeah, leather, croc pattern, flexible enough. I'm not going to wear this strap. I'm just not a fan of crocodile straps. But it does seem like a pretty decent crocodile strap. Fairly flexible right out of the box. So I think if you were a fan of these style straps, this one is actually okay, and you're probably not going to want to change it. It is genuine leather there. It is branded with the CIGA design logo there, and then you've got quick release pins, so that's nice to see. The rubber strap or silicone strap that it comes with, really, really nice. You can see here it's kind of got an interesting pattern to it. It's got the CIGA design. It reminds me a lot of Tag Heuer. I know they kind of put their stuff on the buckle or on the straps as well. You've got 2 floating keepers here. So you've got a signed buckle here with the CIGA design logo. It's really interesting. It's a almost like a bar here instead of being flat like it normally is. So really interesting, pretty cool, nicely finished, I think. I've got no problems with the buckle on it, no problems with the keepers on it. I think the design of the strap is really nice. The length of the strap is really good as well. Quick release pins again. You got some texture on the bottom as well, so it keeps it nice and breathable. Yeah, this is how I'm going to be wearing it. I do really like it. I think it looks pretty good. They do sell this same exact watch, but with a red strap as well as a blue strap, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, I think the strap on this is pretty nice, and the fact that they give you 2 is just an added bonus. So there you go, guys. That is the CIGA Design Z Series. I think the case fit and finish is really nicely done. Very happy with the case fit and finish. The dial, it's tough to read, but that's kind of with any skeletonized watch. If you like this style, yeah, you kind of give up the legibility aspect of a traditional watch. But yeah, I think the movement being visible through both the front and the back is really cool. I mean, you can see right through this watch here. Really happy with the overall design of this thing. I guess I can see why they won some awards to it. It's been very comfortable for me. I think the price is justified. Really an interesting watch if you are into this style. Head to the link down below and pick one up for yourself, especially right now. You're going to save a little bit of cash. So if you guys have any questions or comments about this watch, drop them down below. Let me know what you think of this one. Is this something you would personally buy? You like these skeletonized watches? You don't like them? Just let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you guys think about it. I think that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.